He looked them in the eye, and he spat on them. I'm talking about the people, the blood and the sweat and the tears of the streets. He looked at the empty Frigidaires. He looked at the gas pumps that are bleeding us dry, and he said, "It's a hoax." A hoax? You gotta be kidding me. You tell a man who can't put milk on the table for his kid that his pain is a magic trick. That is the end. That is the final curtain. That is the cardinal sin. Welcome back to the Daily Grind. I am your host, Frank the Truth Jenko. Subscribe. Do it now. You see that button down there? It's red, like the blood in your veins. You click it. You join the family. Because out here, in this jungle, you need a crew. You need someone who's going to look out for you, who's going to tell you what's real when the whole world is selling you a fugazi. So hit the button. Don't make me ask you twice. Join us.
Now, picture this. You're sitting there. It's December. The wind is howling outside. It's cold. Maybe you got the heat turned down because the bill is a monster. It's a beast waiting in the mailbox to devour you. You voted. You went out there. You stood in line. You cast your ballot for the guy who said, "I see you. I hear you. I'm gonna fight for you." That's the deal. That's the contract. You give a man your loyalty. He gives you his protection. That is the oldest law in the book. It's the law of the street. It's the law of the boardroom. It's the law of life. But what do we get? What do we get this week? We got the President of the United States standing in Pennsylvania. Pennsylvania, the steel, the coal, the backbone of this whole operation. And he looks into the camera. He looks into the soul of the American worker, and he says the affordability crisis, the fact that you can't buy eggs without taking out a loan, he calls it a democratic hoax. A hoax. Let me tell you something about a hoax. A hoax is a guy selling you a bridge in Brooklyn. A hoax is 3-card Monty on 42nd Street. A hoax is not, I repeat, it is not a mother crying in the supermarket aisle because she has to put the ground beef back. That is not a hoax. That is a tragedy. That is a sin. And this isn't just a slip of the tongue. No, no, no. Don't give me that. This isn't a gaffe. This is a reveal. This is the mask slipping off. You know, in my time, I've seen guys. Big guys. Powerful guys. They get to the top, and they forget. They forget the smell of the pavement. They forget the taste of the cheap coffee. They get up there in the clouds, in the private jets, with the gold toilets, and they lose touch. They lose the connection. And when you lose the connection, you are finished. You are dead weight. History. Let's talk about history for a second. You think this is new? This is the oldest story in the book. It's Caesar walking into the Senate and thinking he's a god. It's Marie Antoinette saying, "Let them eat cake." You know what happened to her? You know what happened? The people. The people, they got hungry. And when people get hungry, they don't want cake. They want justice. They want respect. Donald Trump committed the cardinal sin of politics. You can be corrupt. Hey, we're all sinners, right? You can be loud. You can be rude. You can even be wrong about the policy. But you cannot. You must not tell the people that their suffering isn't real. That is the line in the sand. You don't cross it. He crossed it. And why? Why would he do it? Is it arrogance? Is it senility? Or is it something worse? Is it contempt? I think it's the bubble. The bubble is a dangerous thing. You surround yourself with yes men. Yes, boss. You're great, boss. Everything is beautiful, boss. They tell you the economy is booming. Look at the stock market, they say. Look at the crypto. Hoo-ah, great. The guys on Wall Street are popping champagne. But what about the guy in Scranton? What about the guy in Flint? What about the guy in Kanpur? What about the regular guy? He doesn't own stocks. He owns a mortgage he can't pay. He owns a car that needs a transmission he can't afford. And when the leader, the voice of the forgotten man, that was the pitch, wasn't it? The forgotten man. Well, guess what? He forgot him. He forgot him. He looked at him and said, "You're imagining it. It's a trick. It's politics." That is a betrayal of the highest order. It cuts deep. It cuts right to the bone.
because it says, I don't respect you enough to even acknowledge your pain.
And let me tell you what happens next. I've seen this movie. I know how it ends. The base, the core, the loyal soldiers. They start to look at each other. They start to whisper. Hey, Sal, you hear what he said? He said we're making it up. And that doubt, that little seed of doubt, it grows. It grows into a tree of resentment. And the roots of that tree, they crack the foundation. The whole house comes down. This week we saw the cracks. We saw the polls. People are screaming, it costs too much to live. And the response from the White House, it's a hoax. You know, there's a concept, dignity. A man needs his dignity. If you take his money, okay. If you take his job, that's bad. But if you take his reality, if you tell him he's crazy for feeling pain, you strip him of his dignity. And a man without dignity is a dangerous man. A man without dignity fights back with everything he's got.
And don't get me started on the FEMA thing. 6 hours ago. 6 hours. A judge had to step in. He scraped a program meant to save lives in disasters. Scrapped it. Building resilient infrastructure. Gone. Poof. Why? To save a few bucks? To settle a score? Who knows? But it's the pattern. It's the pattern of a guy who is dismantling the safety net while telling you you're flying. I'm flying, Jack. I'm flying. No, you're falling. We're all falling. And the economists, these guys in the suits with the calculators, they're scratching their heads. They're saying, well, the macro indicators suggest. Forget the macro indicators. Go to the grocery store. Go look at the price of butter. You need a calculator to buy a stick of butter now. Trump's messaging. It used to be his superpower. The Teflon Don. He could say anything. And it would stick because he tapped into the anger. He channeled the anger. He was the lightning rod. But now, he's not channeling the anger. He's dismissing it. He's blocking it. And when you block the lightning, you get burned, you get fried. This is the turning point. Mark my words. December 12th, 2025. This is the day the music died. This is the day the spell broke. Because you can't gaslight an empty stomach. You can't spin a foreclosure notice. You can't tweet your way out of poverty. And the people around him, the cabinet, the sycophants, they're clapping. They're smiling like Cheshire cats. Oh, brilliant strategy, sir. Call it a hoax. That'll show him. They are leading him off a cliff, and he's stepping on the gas. It's tragedy. It really is. It's Shakespearean. The king, the old king, sitting on his throne surrounded by gold, blind to the fires burning outside the castle walls. And he says, what fire? I don't smell smoke. Wake up, the castle is burning. The drawbridge is down, and the people are at the gate. And this is where it gets interesting. The other side, the opposition, they don't even have to do anything. They just have to stand there and point. See? He doesn't care about you. He thinks you're a joke. That's the ad. That's the campaign. It writes itself. You commit a cardinal sin in this game, there is no absolution. There is no Hail Mary. You betrayed the trust. The sacred trust between the leader and the led. You broke the pact. And when you break the pact, you are alone. And there is nothing in this world, colder than being alone at the top when the wind starts to blow. So what do we do? What do we do, the people? We watch. We take notes. We remember. We don't forget. We are the elephants in this room. We remember who stood by us and who laughed at us. It's over. That's what the headline says. And maybe it is. Maybe the spirit is gone. Maybe the magic is gone. Because once you laugh at the suffering of your own people, you can never, ever look them in the eye again. And that is the saddest thing of all. This has been Frank Jenko. You subscribe, you stay sharp, you keep your eyes open, and you remember, nobody tells you your pain isn't real. Not the president, not the pope, not nobody. I'll see you in the next one.